admit as correct? Tell us.
Mr. Chair, what I admit as correct is that I had a meeting with Mr. Nabu, but we didn't have any plan to remove the IGP because I don't remove IGP and I don't appoint IGP.
Commissioner Mensah, you just said before the chairman came in that part of what was played to your hearing is true. Can you tell us which aspects of what you heard on audio is true to you?
Mr. Chair, I said the audio that I listened here today is edited version of the conversations that we had. And because of that, wholly, this audio that we listened is not genuine.
You see, you use words like holy. It means that there is an aspect. You are very educated, a lawyer, a chartered accountant. Yes. So when you use the word holy, it means that an aspect of the tape is genuine. And I want to know from you which aspect of the tape is genuine.
Mr. Chairman, as I sit here, if I can tell you from first minute to the last minute of all those things that was in the audio, for me to reproduce to you what is genuine and what is not genuine, then I'll be lying.
Commissioner, you are on oath. This committee is tasked to establish the truth or otherwise of what is contained in that tape. You have told the committee that the tape that was played to your hearing is not wholly accurate. You engaged Chief Nabu in that conversation. I'm asking you humbly to tell this committee which aspects of the tape are genuine and which aspects are not genuine for this committee to decipher the truth. Please.
Mr. Chair, you know, that was why my counsels were asking for us to get the recorded audio for us to go and study before we come and answer questions. As I said, as I sit here, if I tell you that I will recollect everything that was said in the audio, then I'll be lying.
I'll play back, Commissioner, I'll play back some aspects of the audio so that you pay attention and then you will not be lost at all as to what we're trying to do. So do I have the benefit of the audio guy here so that we'll be able to play some aspects? You should play these aspects. I've marked some of them.
You are watching a GTV live event.
No, because they don't take their time in doing things. And when they do it later, they regret it. So, I was asked to be very careful because this is what they thought was good. It is more like a century back. Social committing such and I also told the other time, you know, such issue, we don't just use it for contact and nation's spirit. Lack of I was doing that because you run on time maybe from the profit by the man to me that it doesn't matter. See, you are physical, okay, the big matter that this current IGP, if we make the mistake and take him to elections, we take him to the elections, to not help us. It will not help us at all. And I will not even mind if the position is not given to me, but that man is changed. Because we will not help us. He will not help us at all. At all. He will help the party. He will not help some people to rest. He will help the party at all. I know there are others who are also looking for this position. If I don't get and this man is changed, and those people that we think they are our men, yes, like it, I'll do, I will not be, I will still have it. Because we need to break this gate. That is the most important. So we need to break the gate. We need to break the gate. Oh, yes. That's true. Because I wouldn't want doctor to come. They can bear and then we need the elections. What happened? But hey, doctor, give me the position, give me the age. Well, this IGP is not correct. He won't help us. And like you have done politics, you know, elections is not just sometimes elections mafia work is inside.
No, not sometimes.
I'm just
Mafia work is inside, not on sometimes. It's not sometimes, it is.
And this man sitting down up there will not help our party to do anything.
Become a party who give you IGP.
He will not. Look at this assembly. Now, every police officer who are saying up now, including all the big men in Accra, before all go for send off. What are they going to do? So every police will be there. So how do we do what this? How do we
discussing with the big man himself 1 2 times. The last time was last Sunday. We should check today traveling. Do it. Same thing, you can't do it alone. You get some people not immediately from the place, but some people do it themselves. And when they do it later, they regret. That is you are in the, we call you for time.
We want to give somebody time.
Yeah, you might be there in time.
We'll be waiting for you.
Yeah. Since we met in the Aswan season, we haven't met.
Yes, we haven't met.
Yes, it's true. Well, our discussing commander also came, Asari. And now was even thinking that you were talking for different person. You know that the whole person alive. That's the whole, that's good. Well, I have went far. That's apparently you are not the only one. Because there's another 2 other people are also working. And including a woman. So, since you have that back, the big man himself about 2 times. The last time was last Sunday, which is said today traveling. You do it. You can't do it alone. You get some people not immediately from the place, but some people who are also matured in that level. They don't take their time in doing it themselves. And when they do it later, they regret. So, I was asked to be very careful because this is what they thought was good. This is more like a century back. Professional committing such and I also told you the other time, you know, such issue, we don't just use it for contact and we need some spirit. Last I was doing that because you run on time and maybe from the person by the man to me that it doesn't matter. See, you are physical, you are okay, but the confidence to work for it, 10 power, and before you come with me, with the 84, that this current IGP, if we make the mistake and take him to elections, take him to the elections, to not help us. To not help us at all. And I will not even mind if the position is not given to me, but that man is changed. Because we will not help him. He will not help him at all. At all. He will help the party. He will not help some people to rest. He will help the party at all. I know that others so.
Yes. Commissioner, do you deny the conversation in which you speak and Chief Bugrinabu also speaks, and then you speak and Chief Bugrinabu speaks? Do you deny this flow of this conversation?
Mr. Chairman, I think, as I said, I hear a voice that represents my voice, but I can't accept everything in the conversation.
See, in true candor and counsel, I want you to pay attention to this. See, when you say that a voice represents your voice, what do you mean? Is it your voice or is it not your voice? You see, because what you are attempting to say is that somebody is faking your voice, or the conversation is improvised. That's a very dangerous territory. So, counsel, I crave your kind indulgence. I'm not trying to set him up, but it's as simple as that. Now, my question again. In true candor, the flow of the conversation is that Chief Bugrinabu speaks and you also speak, and there's a flow like that. Do you deny this flow of the conversation?
Chairman, I will not deny the flow. That when he speaks, I also speak. I will not deny the flow.
You see, would you also admit that nobody in this flow is attempting to improvise your voice?
Chairman, please come again.
I'm saying that you have admitted the flow that Chief Bugrinabu speaks and you speak. And I'm saying that would you also want to admit that in this flow of the conversation, there's nobody or there's nothing which is like they improvise, some trying to improvise your voice, somebody trying to fake your voice. It's a natural flow of your voice, is that not so?
Mr. Chairman, I said it here and I'm going to repeat it. I said this tape is an edited version.
I agree that you have said it already.
Yes.
You see, so counsel, your brother, Atatia, I'm trying to, because you said you were a lawyer, I'm very excited. Fine. That is your position. that this is not the full, tape. It's a tape which has been edited by your perspective. Nevertheless, counsel, listen to me carefully. You could hear an uninterrupted flow, a logical conversation. Chief Boogie Nabu speaks, and then you also will speak in direct response, and he speaks, and then you will speak. The only difference is that he was very terse with his, what he's saying, but you did a lot of speaking. So I'm asking you again, in the unedited flow of conversation, is your voice improvised? Is it somebody trying to fake your voice? Simple.
Honorable Chair, what I want to say is that because the audio which I've just listened is an edited one, there's a likelihood that somebody can fake my voice. But I can't confirm because I don't have that technical thing to confirm it.
Is there any flow of conversation on this tape that you, in true humility, will say that nobody is faking my voice? Or it is the entire tape that you want to say that somebody is trying to, fake your voice?
The chairman, not the entire.
Let me go back to my advice to. We'll come back to you.
Yes, so, Commissioner.
I'm sorry.
Which part of the audio do you admit is not faked?
Honorable Chairman, this is a very broad question that I will not be able to answer. If he has any specific question on the specific side of the audio, please, I'm ready to answer.
But before I even get there, let's establish certain truths about your work. You're Commissioner of Police. What is your designation in terms of responsibility?
Mr. Chairman, for now, I am on terminal leave pending retirement. I don't have any designation.
Prior to that, what was your designation by way of responsibility?
I was the Director General in charge technical.
You want to come in?
Yes, my good brother wants to interrupt Vice Chairman, with a follow-up question. So please, you can shoot your follow-up question and you continue.
COP Mensa, Chief Bugri Nabu appeared before this committee in person and made statements, emphatic statements about you. This committee has invited you here today to give you an opportunity, for the sake of fairness, to hear your side of the story. Now, I just want to remind you of some of the statements he made. I'm talking about the statements he made before this committee, not those on the audio. Those he made before this committee. So listen to me attentively and then answer the questions. Oh, we are not there yet. Honorable Agaga posed this question to him. Chief, I want to get something clear. This audio that was played a while ago, who was the one on the audio who spoke to you throughout, aside the phone calls you received? Was it Commissioner Mensah or Asare? And Chief Nabu answered, Commissioner Mensah and then Commander Asare. They were doing most of the talking. This is what Chief Nabu said before this committee. And then listen to this as well. He says, I decided that I need to get the information properly. And the proper way was to look for a tape. To tape all that we had been discussing so that I will know where to send it. So that when I send it to the president or anybody, they cannot deny, or neither will somebody think that I am concocting stories. We chiefs, this is Chief Nabu speaking before this committee. We chiefs do not like to lie. If I tell a lie, I will die. The truth of the story is that the tape is correct. The voices on it. I was there and they came to me. What do you say to this?
Honorable Chair, that is the statement from Bugre Nabu, and that is his statement. In that statement, he also mentioned that somebody called Superintendent JB called him and he said he was going to meet him at Afrikiko to go and see the president. We all hear when Superintendent JB denied that he never spoke to Bugre Nabu. Bugre Nabu came here to lie.
Let me continue. Commissioner, your junior colleague is in uniform, Superintendent Asare. Why are you not uniformed? What is the reason? Because you are a serving officer.
Honorable, my former deputy minister, as I said, I am leave pending retirement. I've been on leave for 3.5 months. As I speak, I don't do any police work. I don't wear police uniform. I don't go to police office. I'm in my house.
So you've surrendered your accoutrement to the state. Is that what you're saying?
I am supposed to surrender it on the 16th of September.
Very well. Now let me take you back to the substantive issue. You see, captured in the audio, these are some of your own statements. Now, you said because I wouldn't want Doctor to become the flag bearer and then we lose the elections, then it goes on, gave you the position, break the 8. Meanwhile, this IGP is not correct. Alhaji, you dear, you have done politics. You know elections is not just, sometimes elections, mafia work is inside. Oh, Alhaji. No, not at some time. Oh. As for that one, Then you said, I am just saying. Then Alaji comes in. Mafia work is inside, not on some time. It is not some time, it is. Then you said, yes. And this man sitting up there will not help our party to do anything. This man sitting up there will not help our party to do anything. This is captured in the audio. Do you agree to the fact that these statements attributed to you are captured in the audio which was played to your hearing, Commissioner?
Yes, I made it.
I made it, yes. Yes, yes. Now, Commissioner, I want you to be candid with this committee. Like I said, we are not prosecuting you. So when you give indication in the audio that as for elections, it is about mafia work, can you tell us what you meant by that?
Honorable, I never said election is about mafia work. I said in elections, there is always some mafia work. I never said election is mafia work. And what do I mean by that? During elections, if you don't provide the needed security for people to come out and vote peacefully, and you allow people to come and disturb, to come and snatch boxes at your strongholds, then you are ending in opposition. That is what I meant.
Very well, Commissioner. Thank you for at least speaking to the audio. Now, in that same statement, you indicated that meanwhile this IGP is not correct. Commissioner, can you explain what you meant by this IGP is not correct? What has he done?
Honorable Chair, I will not deny that fact today, tomorrow, or the next day. I will make that statement again. That the current Inspector General of Police is not managing the police service well. It's something I will not run away from. I will say it everywhere, anywhere that I go. And you can do your own investigations, call police officers underground, and find out from them.
Commissioner, calm down. Calm down. Can you assist this committee? You see, within the context of your statement, it had to do with elections. So let's do some quick analysis of his conduct relative to elections. Has he evinced some level of unprofessionalism when it comes to the policing of elections, to the best of your knowledge? Because you spoke within the context of the conduct of elections.
Honorable Chair, my concern was and is that as we speak, majority of police officers are not happy. And if these same people are those who are going to police the elections, and remember, police officers, they vote. Their wives vote. Their children vote. Their mothers and fathers vote. That is my concern.
And so you were unhappy that with the posturing of this IGP, your party will lose elections. Is that correct? Per the statement made. Yes. Our party. Is that correct? IGP's posturing wouldn't inure to the benefit of your party because it's quote and unquote just and fair.
Did he declare in assembly?
Mr. Chairman.
Oh, no, he hasn't said that.
Mr. Chairman, at that time we were talking about politics. And I was talking to a political figure.
Are you a politician?
Yes, of course, I am. There's nobody here who is not a politician.
As a serving police officer?
I am on leave pending retirement.
When you had the discussions with Buri Nabu, Chief Buri Nabu, sorry. You spoke within the context of elections. Now let me ask you this question. Has this IGP ever policed elections over the period that you're aware of?
Mr. Chair, I need clarification from your vice. Are you asking whether he has policed election as IGP before or as a policeman?
I said this IGP. This IGP. And so, as IGP, has he policed any election that you know of? In his capacity as IGP, not police officer. No,
Yes, maybe the Kumau by-election, maybe, yeah.
Did he, in the course of the conduct of the Kumau by-election, do anything to the detriment of your party, since you agree with me that you are a politician in uniform? Oh, quote and unquote, you haven't surrendered your accoutrement. It is within that context. Every officer, whether you're a soldier, you are a police officer, immigration, you are an officer in uniform. Yes. Did he do anything to the detriment of your party in the course of the conduct of the Kumau elections?
Vice, with the greatest of respect, I don't like this dimension of your party. Let's make an admission whether or not, you know, he had a particular party in mind, because it seems to me that this your party, as if you are forcing it on him. But he said everybody's a politician. He says so. So if you want to lay a foundation and then he wants to talk about it.
Yes, Chairman. With the greatest of respect, I was expecting counsel to have raised this objection, because he's never admitted as being a member of the party, of a party. Thank you.
All right, Chairman, I mean, it's not harmful. It's all right. No. Chairman, this is the context. You see, I think the foundation was laid when the man says, okay, I will lay the foundation respectfully.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes. Commissioner, when you say categorically that I wouldn't want doctor to become the flag bearer and then we lose the elections, Which doctor were you referring to?
Honorable Chair, as I stated earlier on, when we started, I told this Honorable House that the conversation we had was a private conversation, and there are some of the things that I'm not ready here to expose it.
You see, Commissioner, you are a lawyer. At the beginning of our proceedings, your counsel, and I respect him, he raised objections. Objections which goes to admissibility. And this committee ruled on the objections. Now, part of the ruling was to the effect that the matters we are investigating here are of a public, they are matters that are of public interest. Now, if that is the position, the law that gives you protection in terms of privacy rights are pierced by the interests of the state, matters that are of a public interest nature, they are about security issues, etc. That veil is pierced. And before this honorable committee, the veil of privacy relative to the discussion you had has been pierced. And so it no longer lies within your power to say you won't speak to the issues we are raising because there were private issues, that discussions you had with Mr. Buri Nabu. Those privileges have been taken away from you with the greatest of respect, Mr. Commissioner. So let's open up and do justice to the issues. You want to answer my question?
Chairman, yes, I agree with you. But I also have the privilege to decide whether to answer questions or not.
All right, I acknowledge that as your right, and not to self-incriminate. Yeah, so well noted. So we shall. Now, you again stated that this man sitting up there will not help our party to do anything. Which is your party, if I may ask? That is it. That's your answer. I'm laying the foundation.
You are duly protected. You are duly protected. Yes. So he's just gleaning meaning from the recording. So which party?
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry. I cannot answer this question.
Very well. Chairman, I think I've established some preliminary matters. I would yield, and then when it gets to my turn, I will delve with the substantive issues. Thank you for the opportunity, Chairman.
I'm grateful to my vice for the mileage so far. But let's go to Honorable Boama, and then we come to our good friends here.
Chairman, thank you very much. Honorable Angaga thinks he's in court and trying to.
Why, something rings a bell, Honorable Patrick Boama. We had a clash in court. Maybe something rings a bell.
Yes, we did. We did. COP Mensa, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Listening to you, you expressed some misgivings about the happenings in the police service. What can you tell this committee?
Mr. Chairman, if I say that I'm going to tell this committee about the happenings in the Ghana Police Service in the presence of the media? No, I won't. But if an investigative team is looking for what the happenings in the police service, and they call me, come and speak to only the team, then I'm ready.
So you would want an in-camera conversation with the committee?
Exactly, Mr. Chairman.
Chairman, let me look for the memo that referenced the remit of this committee. And V says, make recommendations for reforms where necessary. That's why I asked those questions, because we cannot only dwell on the tape and not make the necessary recommendations for reforms within the police service. So it's a very legitimate question.
It is indeed a legitimate question, but you see, because of a sense of national security, understand, we are not here in this space to put the entire police service into, on the carpet. That is why I crave your indulgence that if we have to do an in-camera engagement with him, they will fill us in. So that is the sense of what he's saying, and I think we should defer to that.
So, Chairman, I agree with you 100%
yes,
on that.
Yes, sir.
Chairman, I agree with you. So, because, Chairman, I was going to go into areas of promotion that came up during the conversation, and I'm going to also.
If it relates to the tape, understand, then maybe that is fine. Because I am of the humble view. I've listened to the tape severally. It doesn't place the entire activity of the Ghana Police Service into the public domain with the greatest of respect. You see, it's a very limited, area we should look at, which is as to how the referees themselves are political animals, and there's a tendency that they will skew the elections to favor their political preference. That is how I see it. We are not discussing armed robbery or anything with seriously. So those matters that I want to see, the promotion dimension in the police service is not the sole issue here. It's not. Yeah, with the greatest respect. So I'll crave your kind indulgence that if you could be within the confines of that the police service, senior officers, political animals interested in having political outcomes rather than looking at the security of elections is permissible. Professionalism as against party issues. Yeah.
Very well, Chairman. Commissioner Mensah, please, were you at any of the by-elections recently held in the Kumewu or Asin North?
Honorable Chairman, I wasn't, because I was on leave pending my retirement.
But you observed as a citizen of the country?
Yes, Honorable Chair, but from afar.
Were there any challenges with regards to operational structure in those elections, in your humble view?
Honorable Chair, I've not had the time to look at what actually transpired in those areas. Because as I said, because I'm on leave, I've stopped thinking about what is happening in the police service, pursuing my own agenda somewhere.
So, when Chief Nabu appeared before us, he told this committee that one of your issues or apprehension was the fact that if certain measures were not put in place, what happened in Asinov will befall the party. True or false?
Honorable Chair, that's a total lie, because we had the meeting before Asinov. So how could I have referred to what happened in Asinov?
Very well.
You see, the substance of the tape was that you even predicted that by reason of the post-sharing of this current IGP and with some commissioners who are NDC commissioners, so to speak, we're going to lose Asinov. Did you stand by that, or you want to run away from that?
Honorable Chair, I said it. I said it, and because I heard what was going on before the elections, and what the police officers who have been deployed in Asinov were doing in Asinov.
So, this discussion or conversation took place probably after Kumewu and in between the Asinov elections.
Yes, Honorable Chair.
You were worried as a citizen sitting afar.
Honorable Chair, I didn't hear the question very well.
You were quite worried that if steps were not taken, something untoward will happen in Asin North.
That's true, Honorable Chair.
And it did happen.
That's true, Honorable Chair.
So you are a very analytical officer.
Honorable Chair, as an experienced police officer, former Director General Operations, there are certain things that we can foresee coming.
You said you were the former Director General Operations.
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Who was the IGP then?
That was Mr. David Asante Apietu.
Oh, okay. I understand. Oh, lovely. All right. Not too long ago. Honorable Boama, continue probing your colleague, at the bar. Continue.
Chairman,
the two of you are enjoying yourself.
Mr. COP Mensah is a very respected police officer. Very respected, yes. I've checked his background. And you are likely to be a chief somewhere in Ashanti region. You are in the reckoning.
That is true, Honorable Chair.
Some of us have checked your background very well and we respect you. So, Asinov is what has brought us here with this tape and what have you. Our colleagues retained their seat in Asinov and also raised this issue on the floor of Parliament, and we are seated here. What do you think ought to be done to have a very free and fair elections, regardless of who the IGP is, who the operations commander is, who the district commander is, so that we don't have any, in quote, mafia tactics in any of the constituencies, if you were to be in charge of operations towards the elections.
Honorable Chair, this question, the answer is like writing a PhD thesis.
You were reading my mind. Because I was going to say that would you want to spare us, the whole area is talking about, and deliver to the committee your personal paper. You see what I mean? Because there's a lot that you can say about how to have free and fair elections with police professionalism intact. So please, be gracious enough to share a paper with us, because within the space of this time, I want to show order. Yes. Yes, please do us a
response.
He says so.
No,
he says it's a long. It's like he's going to write.
But Chairman, I think the context is very clear. So let him confine himself to the context within which he and Bugri Nabu, had their recorded conversation. In that conversation, he clearly spoke about how election outcomes wouldn't be favorable for his party, and we can follow up with questions.
No. You see, you will have the opportunity to ask him as many questions as you can. But if you listen to your colleague, he said, how can we have an election, listen carefully, which will be devoid of police interferences and the rest of it and those things. And I'm saying that is a whole paper, and even admitted it. So that paper, he can give it to us. But if you want to ask specific questions that what went untoward by reason of police misbehaviors, you can talk about it. Yeah. Yes, you see the point.
Man, I'm convinced that if he wants to furnish the committee with any paper, that's fine.
Yes, it's fine. It's to improve what we are doing.
From the demeanor of the witness, it tells me, as a lawyer, that there's bad blood between yourself and the IGP, your boss, since you are not out of service yet.
Mr. Chairman, I didn't hear the question very well.
Is there bad blood between yourself and the IGP, your current boss?
Mr. Chairman, as I sit here, I don't have any bad blood. But what I do is I speak my mind, whether you like it or not. If you're my boss and you do what I don't like, I'll tell you. You can decide to hate me for that. That is your matter. But I don't have any bad blood.
So your answer is that there are several professional disagreements. That's what we're saying. There are never personal issues, but professional disagreements.
That is correct.
Okay.
So, Chairman, let me go to the last point. That you were in the reckoning to be IGP, and that a report was purported to have been sent to the president, which included your name from the conversation, and that the secretary to the president, Nana Beduitu Asante, did not provide that information to the president. Was that a subject matter of discussion between your good self and Chief Bugri Nabu?
Mr. Chairman, that is one of the portions of the audio that I don't trust. Because I know we discussed about the report, by bringing the name of Nana Beduitu in, I still cannot remember.
So there was a discussion on a certain report.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
A report which emanated from where?
Mr. Chairman, as usual, those reports are prepared by the National Security.
And are you a member of the National Security?
No, Mr. Chairman.
And how did you become privy to the contents of a report that was prepared solely for the President?
Mr. Chairman, with all due respect, this is something that I would not want to discuss here.
So, because of your position, you're able to get details of reports meant for the consumption of the President as a sitting police officer.
Mr. Chairman, as I said, I'm sorry, but I wouldn't want to respond to this one too.
Well, Mr. Chief Nabu, on that aspect, said that it was a hearsay matter. It's in our committee's report, so we'll leave it at that.
COP, why don't you want to speak to the report? We need to know the basis. That would inform our decision to have you speak to some of the issues in camera, as you requested. So, what is the basis for your decision not to speak to the report?
Mr. Chairman, as I said, I have the privilege not to speak on certain issues. And I'm not going to speak on that issue, Mr. Chairman, with all due respect.
Let me come in here. Commissioner, you were Chief Inspector January 1, 1992, ASP 27th August 1993, DSP 1st September 1998, that's 6 years interval, Superintendent 1st June 2002, that's another 5 years or 4 years. Chief Superintendent 1st December 2004, ACP 1st January 2009, and DCOP 1st July 2017, that's about 8 years, and COP in retirement, on leave pending retirement, 1st April 2019. You've served the service well, and we wish you well as a committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I'm sure the Vice Chairman has a whole catalogue of questions that you want to. Well, I yield space to you to conclude some of the matters. But in the meantime, let's hear a lady's voice, you know. Yeah. But the men, you have dominated the proceedings. Please. No.
Let the lady.
No, let's hear the lady speak. Yeah, because, and then from there I'll come to you, and then the senior police officer who is now.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The man wants to bully me. Mr. Chair, my question was a follow-up to earlier questions you were asking Commissioner Mensah, but I wasn't given the opportunity, so I want to take him back. Okay. Commissioner, you told this committee that you had meetings 4 times with Bugri Nabu. Is that?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Please, can you tell us where and the days these meetings were held?
Mr. Chair, I can tell you the place, but I can't tell you the date, because I don't keep those dates in my head.
Very well.
of the
So,
meetings,
Commissioner, tell us where these meetings were
three of the
held.
meetings were held in his office and one in his house.
Thank you. Where are the location of these two places, the office and the house?
The chair, the office is at Osu, just opposite the Osu police station. And the house is at Dansuma.
Very well. Can you also tell this committee, how long these meetings took place?
Mr. Chair, I'm sorry. I did not keep the times. I cannot.
Very well. I asked this because you said a portion of the tape has been edited. And then I would like to know whether you can tell this committee which portion you think has been edited, and also whether perchance you've heard or seen the original tape.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is something that when we were coming here, we were going to ask that we needed the original tape for us to go and listen even before we come and speak to the committee. But we were not allowed. I haven't seen any original tape.
Yes, but it will also mean that you are doing a fishing expedition. You do not know the existence of an original tape, and yet you say the committee should give it to you. We don't have any original tape. You see, because it will be bad as a committee to withhold evidence from you. It will be bad. So anything of consequence that will aid your case, we are in duty bound to give it to you. So to be very honest with you, I sit here as the chairman of the committee that there is no ambush original tape that we are playing around which will eventually be to your detriment. So if you know one, we'll be glad that you bring it to us and then we look at it. So this is what we have, no more than what I'm telling you. And nobody should be deceived in thinking that, oh, the committee is having an original tape, very exculpatory of, the witnesses, and we are keeping it. Let's clear it once and for all that there is no original tape under the belt of this committee, and it's a fact. It's a fact.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. We know this committee doesn't have any original tape, as you are saying. But when we listened to Alhaj Bukri Nabo, when he appeared before the committee, Mr. Chair, he stated that after he sent the tape to the president. The implication is that the original tape is the president. Maybe that's why my counsel were asking if we can get hold of the original tape.
We see whether indeed and in fact there is an original tape in the office of the presidency. And trust me, if it is so fun, I'll release it to you. Yes, it should be very simple to do that. It shouldn't be a problem at all. So, Madam, you can continue with your interrogation.
Thank you, Chair. My last question to Commissioner. Commissioner, you told this committee you are now on leave pending retirement. Very well, thank you. I would like to know whether these meetings with the chief was held before or after your leave pending retirement.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That was after. So I was on leave pending retirement.
Right. So let me come to my very good brother, and then I'll come to the ex-police officer.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for the opportunity. COP Mensah, have you ever discuss the conduct of the IGP with the General Secretary of the MPP, the current General Secretary of the MPP.
Mr. Chair, for due respect, I'm not ready to talk about my private discussions with anybody, anywhere here.
See, where it's going is borne out by the tape that Chief Bugre Nabu said, asked you whether you've had discussions with the General Secretary. Yes, that's where it's going. And that is edited or unedited.
Mr. Chair, my discussions with Bugre Nabu was a private conversation, and nobody alerted me that they are recording it. So I still see it as private conversation, and most of the things I'm not ready to talk about it, most especially when this is being videoed and being put on air. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Do you now, on reflection, feel betrayed by Chief Bugre Nabu that what was intended as a private conversation, he was taping you and it's in the public domain? Do you feel betrayed?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
But do you have the courage of your convictions that what you say in private, you can defend it openly? Do you have it? Or your private conversation has the force of truth, but your public conversations do not have the force of truth?
Mr. Chair, my private conversation was true.
Honorable Chair, I don't think the witness understood your question well. The chairman's question is about the force of truth of your private statements versus the force of truth of your public statements. Two issues. When you speak privately, what is the weight of force we must attach to those statements versus when you speak publicly? That is the thrust of the chairman's question.
Mr. Chair, I speak the truth, but the weight of truth that you attach to it is yours, not mine. But I speak the truth.
So, whether you are engaged in a private conversation or you are speaking publicly, your position is that it is for this committee to attach weight to your statements. Is that your position?
Please come again.
So, COP, are you saying that you speak the truth at all times, whether you are engaged in private conversations or when you are speaking publicly like you're doing now? And so therefore it is for this committee to determine what weight to attach to statements you make, private or public. Is it clear?
I speak the truth.
Say, my dear brother and friend and colleague at the bar, would you say that you feel betrayed because the truth in the private space has come out? Do you feel betrayed? you spoke truth to a man. Unfortunately, the man was taping you. At that level, you say you were speaking the truth. Now the truth is out there. Is that the act of betrayal?
Mr. Chair, it's act of betrayal because what you say, which might be the truth, might not be meant for everybody. It's like telling your friend about your girlfriend, then you go to tell your wife. That's the truth. But it wasn't meant for your wife.
I agree with you to that extent, So it is not every truth you tell privately that should come into the public domain. Okay. My brother here, you have a long journey to go with him. Okay. So, Commissioner, try and address the questions directly so that we've not even touched the matters concerning Superintendent Asari. Yeah, so let's see how we fast track it, and then. But if we should adjourn and come back tomorrow, we will look at it.
Yeah, I think it's almost 3.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, let's see how probably we'll wind up with our friend. So when we don't disturb him, and then, yes.
COP Mensah, when you were Assistant Superintendent of Police, the current IGP Dampare was a sergeant. Is that correct?
That is true.
And you became Assistant Commissioner during the time of President Kufuor. Is that correct?
That is true, Mr. Chairman.
And the 8 years that the NDC was in office, you were never promoted. Is that correct?
That is true, Mr. Chairman.
Nanado came and made you a commissioner. Is that correct?
That is true, Mr. Chairman.
And so when you make a statement like this, the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana. And so when you stated, as was captured in the audio, media, I have been MPP member since long time, before I even joined the service. And now we need, because if you don't break the 8, that's my only objective. Anybody I meet, I tell them, we need this man. He can't help. You became an MPP member since you have been an MPP member long time before you joined the service. Is that correct?
Mr. Chairman, my family has been with the UP tradition ever since I was born, and it remained there till now.
So, as you speak, are you a card-bearing member of the MPP? Wait, why not?
Mr. Chairman,
I think you've answered it in a way that you are not a card member. No.
This can lead to problems for this man.
Okay, let's. He's leading into temptation now. No, it's a bad. What is the meaning of this?
Chairman, with the greatest of respect,
yes.
I don't think this question ought to be admitted.
I was just going to tell him. I was going to tell him that this is not fair.
It is very dangerous for the force.
Cancel.
Very dangerous.
Cancel.
He may have ambitions later in life, and you want him.
Yes.
But make some admissions.
Oh.
Chairman.
Okay.
Just a second. Honorable Chairman,
The sympathies.
the Honorable Patrick Boama
Yes.
has usurped your power and gone a step further by overruling you. Chairman, I think we need to call the Honorable Patrick Boama to order. And
I think I'm trying to, do what is honorable. That is too far-reaching. That whilst he's a commissioner, he's a card-bearing member. But what I can glean from what he's saying, that he's a blood-carrying member of the UP tradition. That's what he said. Yes. So please, do not answer this one. I crave your indulgence. It's too far-reaching. Yes.
I asked this innocuous question based on a statement that is captured here as having been made by the witness, especially when he indicated that I have been MPP member since long time before I even joined the service. And so
With the greatest of respect, the witness was a chief inspector on the 1st of January 1992. The MPP was formed in August 1992. So he couldn't have been a party member long before. Yeah, so
You know, what is it that would you want to ask him whether he has MPP sympathies? Oh, my brother. Okay, please answer as he comes so that it shouldn't be seen as if I'm gagging my colleague here.
Mr. Chairman,
Okay, go ahead.
Chairman,
Go ahead. Yeah.
I think he answered the first leg of the question by alluding to the fact that his entire family are members of the UP tradition since time immemorial. You understand? And then I asked a specific question relative to his membership with the MPP, just because of the statement here. Unless you are telling me that the statement here is not factual.
You can be a member of MPP without being a card-bearing member of MPP. There's a difference. So that is a slight difference.
So I wanted the witness, a lawyer, an experienced police officer.
No, it has consequences for him. You see, the chair to protect the witness as well, because it has serious consequences for him, and you know. So please, you can ask another question, because this is fairly serious. Because when you say is a card-bearing member of the, then that is serious. Yes. You want to say is a political activist in the police service. That is serious. No. He has more questions. I know him. Please proceed. Please proceed. Let a member of the committee proceed with further questions.
Mr. Chairman, I thank you very much. But I also entreat you, with all respect, we all like the way you are chairing this committee. Very fair to all of us. And therefore, I will entreat that when I pose harmless questions, the witness should be allowed to answer those questions. Otherwise, it will appear that you don't want us to ask all the, critical questions. Let me proceed.
Yes, you have the liberty to ask questions.
Yes.
And he's been giving you some hints now. That some no, you listen. If you listen to him, he said, I won't answer this question. The right to remain silent. And so where he wants to answer, let him answer. But you see, this particular one, with the greatest of respect, it has far-reaching consequences. And bear in mind, they have to settle his monies and the rest of it, So what he says here could be a weapon. He's going to retire with benefits. But if they should challenge him, that look, this guy's, it could be something else, I crave your indulgence. But I will never gag a member of this committee from asking questions. So please, you can proceed.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. There is also a statement here, having been captured as a statement from the witness. Yes, he is aware. I told him, General Secretary, if you don't take care, you take the party to opposition and you'll be the worst General Secretary. The next elections, you will lose because you came when we are in power and you couldn't help us the way we want. I gave him all the. Yes. Did you make the statement?
Mr. Chairman, for all due respect, I wouldn't want to answer this question. Thank you.
See, Commissioner, this particular statement is on the tape. This part, what he was trying to, bring your attention to is your voice recording. Are you distancing yourself from your own voice? That's what it means, you know. So please, did you say this or not?
Mr. Chairman, I want him to repeat the question.
I want him to repeat the question. I should repeat the question. Yeah. You stated that, I'm quoting exactly what you said, verbatim quotation. Yes, he's aware. I told him, General Secretary, if you don't take care, you will take the party to opposition and you will be the worst General Secretary. The next elections, you will lose because you came when we are in power and you couldn't help us the way we want. I gave him all the and I asked whether you made the statement.
Mr. Chairman, yes, I did.
And so when you said you came when we were in power, what exactly were you referring to?
Mr. Chairman, I was referring to the General Secretary's party.
That's the MPP, is that correct?
That is so.
And then when you said we, you meant that you were part of the MPP, is that correct?
I am a sympathizer of the MPP.
So you are not a member, you are a sympathizer. Is that what you're saying to this committee?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I've said it already.
Okay. We want the record to capture that today you have indicated to us that you are not a member of the MPP, but a sympathizer. I want that to reflect on our records. Again, the relationship between the current IGP, Dr. Dampare, and Professor John Atamels of blessed memory. Is that also correct?
Mr. Chair, I don't remember that. Maybe if you can tell me what I said, then.
It is also captured on in the audio that you stated that IGP Dampare was close to Professor Atamels. Is that correct?
Mr. Chairman, that is true and that is a fact.
So you said that?
That is true and that is a fact.
And that IGP Dampare was promoted above people like you just because of his proximity to Professor Mills and the NDC. Is that correct?
Mr. Chairman, I don't remember saying that.
In the audio, you stated that yes, his rank was given to him by the NDC. That is why he became the senior. Is that correct?
That is so.
You said it.
That is so.
Okay. And then you also indicated that IGP Dampare had been the Director General of Finance for 7 good years. Even when Atanos died, in Mohammed's time, he was still the Director General of Finance. That was the period he was promoted to Assistant Commissioner, to Deputy Commissioner, and then to Commissioner. Is that also correct?
The Chairman, that is so, but there's something wrong.
Can you correct it?
Said that was the period he was promoted to Deputy Commissioner and Commissioner, because he was already an Assistant Commissioner.
Oh, okay. Okay. So all these promotions happened during the time of the NDC?
That is so.
Is that the reason why you think that IGP Dampare is taking actions that is aligned, actions that can be aligned to the interests of the NDC? Is that the reason?
The Chairman, for due respect, I don't want to answer this question. Thank you.
Is it because you know the truth and you are hiding it from the committee by saying, I don't want to answer? Is it a way of hiding the truth?
Mr. Chairman, what you are asking is not a fact. You are asking about the reason, my opinion, and I'm not ready to share it.
One second. I have the Chairman's permission.
Yes, he wants to do a little intervention, then you continue.
Commissioner, from our records, the IGP was the superintendent from the 1st of February 2003 and ACP 1st August 2006. So those were the 2 dates. Then DCOP, Deputy Commissioner of Police, 1st February 2010. Then Commissioner of Police, 15th August 2014. That's for our record. So you have to be consistent with the dates. We have the fact sheets here.
As though you want him to correct the earlier answer?
Yes, and your appointment was 1st January 2009 as ACP. Yes, 2009. Then you became DCOP 1st February 2017. Then Commissioner of Police 1st April 2019. That's for our record.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
So you were made Assistant Commissioner by President Mills in 2009.
That is not correct.
Who was president in 2009?
My Assistant Commissioner was not 2000. It was 1st January 2009. The promotion was done even before the elections. By the effective date was 1st January 2009, where President Kufuor was still the president.
No, the clarification is important. You know, if you leave it, you just say it's 2009, we wouldn't know. Sure.
COP, have you ever sent your CV to Chief Nabu?
My CV was given to somebody who Bugre Nabu sent to come and collect for me.
What was the purpose for it? Was it for him to secure a job for you, or to do what?
The purpose was for him to go and lobby for me.
To become the IGP, is that not correct?
Yes.
And it failed?
Pardon me?
And it failed?
It failed?
Yes, the lobbying didn't work. He wasn't successful.
Of course.
Okay.
And that's not the first time lobbies have failed. Because we started lobbying from 2017 to become IGP. Yes.
Started lobbying?
I said some of us started lobbying. Not now.
You?
Long time, yes.
You were commissioner in 2017?
I wasn't. Maybe I have to tell that it's not only commissioners who are appointed as IGPs.
You mean
from the rank of assistant commissioner to commissioner, anybody can be appointed as IGP.
No, but you'd agree with me that they would normally promote you to the next rank. They could do that again, but they would not. You would not be leapfrogged. Let's say you jump one position, and is it common?
It says, Nana Osunsian was promoted from deputy commissioner to IGP when they were commissioners.
Okay.
You see, our members, when one is territory, be careful. Most of you have never been commissioners before, so that is a joke. That is a joke.
And so at that time, you trusted Chief Nebu as an honest person who can lobby to secure you such a big office. Is that not?
That is so.
Do you think he has changed?
Pardon me?
Do you think Chief Nebu has changed? Because today he has appeared before this committee and then under oath made some emphatic statements about what you discussed with him, including that the admission of the fact that the audio in question now was taped by him, it was done by him, and that the voices we are hearing are your voice and that of Commander Asare. And you said before this committee to indicate that that is not entirely true. And I'm asking, has the honest person you trusted some few months ago to do the lobbying for you, has he changed to be able to lie before this committee, as you have already alluded to?
Mr. Chairman, that is obvious.
What is obvious?
You are saying that he has changed, and I'm saying that is obvious.
Are you implying that it is obvious that Chief Nebu is not the honest person you thought to be?
Mr. Chairman, Chief Bugri Nabo came to this committee, told a lot of lies, including lying that he spoke to a certain superintendent whom he has never spoken to.
Oh, no. Take your time. Take your time. No. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairman. Commissioner George Alex Mensah, you know, before I ask you any question, I would first of all like to applaud you for 31 years of dedicated service to Madagascar. From 1992 to 2003 as you are pending retirement. Just a very simple question to start with. Have you ever been an ADC in your police career before?
Yes.
You were ADC to who?
I was the ADC to Akon Kensen Aka of blessed memory.
Which party was in power at the time that Aka was vice president?
That is the NDC.
Listening to the tape, and let me quote you, he has never been a party member. Anybody who says so doesn't know him. This was the aide-de-camp to the late president, Professor Atta Mills. This current IGP was the ADC to Professor Atta Mills. How can MPP party member become ADC to Professor Atta Mills? No way. Can you confirm this statement? that it was made by you?
Yes.
Can you assist the committee to understand how an MPP sympathizer, you said you were an MPP sympathizer long before you even became a police officer, will become an ADC to a vice president under a National Democratic Congress government?
Mr. Chairman, I was made the ADC to a Konkensen Aka when Konkensen Aka and President John Ajekum Kufuor came together in the elections.
Mr. Commissioner, so what you are saying is that to become an ADC to a president, you must be affiliated to the president's party, irrespective of which uniform you wear, whether military, police, or what have you. Is that the understanding with your experience?
That is my opinion.
COP, we've heard the name Obi Aqua in military circles because you are COP. You have? You recall that General Aqua was the Chief of Army Staff when President Mahama was in office. Do you recall?
Unfortunately, I don't.
Well, let me suggest to you that General Aqua was the Chief of Army Staff under President Mahama and subsequently became the Chief of Defense Staff under President Nana Addo, Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Are you surprised by this fact?
Mr. Chair, which Obi Aqua are you referring to?
He was Chief of Army Staff from 20 under President Mahama. You know, when President Mahama was in office as head of state and government. Then, after President Mahama, the same General Aqua became the Chief of Defense Staff under President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Does that surprise you?
Mr. Chairman, are you referring to the Obi Aqua who was the ADC to the former President Kufuor?
Yes. Correct. Correct.
And now, Ambassador to
Egypt. Yes.
Egypt. Yeah.
And after President Kufuor left, he was sent to the Kofi Annan. He became...
Absolutely. That
yes.
is the trajectory of his rise.
But he never became the Chief of Army Staff. He became Chief of Army Staff. He was sent to Kofi Annan, and when Nana Addo became the president, he became the Chief of Defense Staff.
Correct.
Maybe the facts could be verified later, but now let me find out from you, my dear colleague, what rank were you when you left the police service? Superintendent. Okay. Yes. The gentleman sitting over there is a commissioner. Okay. I just wanted to be sure. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Chairman. I think that my preamble spoke volumes. 31 years experience. I think that in this room, when we talk about law enforcement, he can be a master. So when I'm asking questions, I'm sure he will help the committee to understand better and have a better perspective as we probe this matter further. Mr. Commissioner, I pick from the tape again. Dan Parry was a sergeant when I was Assistant Superintendent of Police. He was a sergeant. Is that correct?
Mr. Chairman, that is true.
Commissioner Dampare became a superintendent before you. Was that also correct?
That is true.
Is it surprising that Dampare became a commissioner before you, therefore?
In policing, it's not surprising. It happens always.
So, Commissioner, when you said in the tape that it was NDC that promoted him commissioner, will you still repeat that statement? Or you think that because he was superintendent before you, it is natural sequence that he will become commissioner before you? It's not the matter of NDC, it's the system. Can you confirm that?
Mr. Chairman, what I said was a fact.
Mr. Commissioner, can you come again? I don't get the answer. I am saying, if I may repeat the question. Dampare IGP became superintendent at the time before you became superintendent. So at the time he seniored you as superintendent, it is natural sequence that he will become commissioner before you, barring any difficulties. And it has happened. Is it strange?
That is true.
So if you complain about the fact that he became commissioner before you, that is not fair. Is that right?
I never stated that he became commissioner before me. What I said was that he was given the promotions during the NDC time. And that is a fact. I wasn't lying. I was just telling him the fact.
Thank you, Commissioner. The policy guideline before the Ghana Police Service Regulation 2012, which you also enjoyed from 92 till we had a new policy guideline, it was in there that if you are a chartered accountant, your minimum rank should be a superintendent. I presume that was why Dr. Dampare became your senior. Is that right?
That is true.
In the tape, you also said, they are always talking. They are always talking. The man knows that when President Mahama comes, he will maintain him. Can you confirm that this statement can be attributed to you?
Mr. Chairman, I cannot confirm.
Can you confirm this statement also from the tape? NDC, they are all NDC. I told the General Secretary this thing that I'm telling you. Yes, he's aware. I told him. And you were referring to some police officer that you know they are NDC. Can you still stand by this statement as you are speaking on oath?
Mr. Chairman, I cannot confirm.
Commissioner, do you know COP Mr. Yohono?
Yes, I do, Mr. Chairman.
As you believe that all of us are political animals and the Constitution prevents us from being partisan in our dealings anytime we are in the uniform as police officers, is Yohono an NDC member?
Mr. Chairman, I cannot answer this question because I don't know.
Do you know ACP Abbas of the former police unit?
Yes, I do, Mr. Chairman.
With a lot of experience and working with many senior officers, including me at the time that I was there, can you confirm the political affiliation of Assistant Commissioner of Police, Mr. Abbas?
Mr. Chair, I cannot.
If I may pick it from the tape again, Yohono, Abbas, all these strong NDC guys, they are all there. Do you think they will help us? They want their party to come into power. And Alaji says, Yohono is NDC. And you said, hey, strong one. And Alaji came back, Abbas. And you said, And Alhaji asked, who is Abbas? Then you said, he is now the man in charge of FPU. And that was why he asked you whether you were also campaigning. And you gave a very loud laughter. Abbas and Yohunu, according to this statement, that they are NDC. Can you say stand by this statement?
I cannot confirm this statement, please.
Mr. Commissioner, please indicate us. I want to take the opportunity for you to help the committee. What is the essence of the Police Management Board in police administration, POMAP?
Mr. Chair, the Police Management Board is the board that assists the Inspector General of Police to manage the police service.
Thank you. And I'm quite convinced you still have the history that the Police Management Board came out of the ashes of the Headquarters Management Advisory Board, which was merely an advisory body. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear this question. Can you repeat it, please?
The Police Management Board, POMAP, came out of the ashes of the Headquarters Management Advisory Board, HEMAP. So we moved from HEMAP to POMAP. Is that correct?
Mr. Chair, that is true.
HEMAP was simply an advisory board. POMAP is a management board with the IGP as a chair. Is that correct?
HEMAP was
just advisory. POMAP is a management board with the IGP chairing. Is that correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, I want to ask my commissioner, can an IGP ignore the whole POMAP and do anything he wants to do because he's the Inspector General of Police and the management board members will be silent?
Yes, he can.
And that goes to the question I asked initially. What is the essence of POMAP?
Mr. Chair, it's a police management board and the head is the Inspector General of Police. We are just an advisory body. As to whether or not he takes the advice, that is the IGP.
Mr. Commissioner, you know that the Police Management Board was established by law, and I know you are a lawyer. I am a baby. I'm not getting it way closer to you. But the Ghana Police Service Regulation 2012 makes the Police Management Board not an advisory body, but a body that assists the Inspector General of Police to administer the police service. And the IGP cannot, by law, ignore POMAP and function well. Am I right?
You are not right. You say assist. You mentioned the word assist. If I want to assist you, you determine whether you take my assistance or not. It's not compulsory. That whatever I'm doing to assist you, you have to accept it. No.
Mr. Commissioner, can you assist this committee with matters on election security? What is the right procedure for police to deploy for elections, vis-a-vis the fact that there's a statement in the audio that says the procedure in Asinov was wrong? What is the right procedure, Mr. Commissioner?
This question was asked, and I said, the answer to this question is a PhD issue. And these are security matters, and I'm not ready to discuss that here.
Thank you very much, Commissioner.
Wait. Let's, Chairman. Yes. I think, given the nature of the COP's response to this question, maybe you would have to rule on this very issue so that if the committee would have a future engagement with the commissioner, within the appropriate, setup where he can make the disclosures, then we proceed. Because we don't want it to pass that this special committee cannot grant him audience appropriately for the necessary disclosures to be made, because at the end of the day, we owe it a duty to the people of this country to advise on reforms, if needs be.
Yes.
Yes.
You see, all that is saying, the committee has the power to discharge him. So in discharging him, we need to take a quality decision about, if you like, in-camera engagements before his discharge. But because we have the power to summon him here anytime, you shouldn't worry at all. After the unfolding of the evidence, I'm tempted, I'm inclined to believe that he has to come back with us privately, but that will be done. So I wouldn't give a ruling now, but we all decide that it's now opportune to hear him privately. We'll go ahead and do it. My good man, do you have a long way to go? Okay. Okay.
Very well noted, Chairman.
Yes.
Commissioner, you said in the tape and you confirmed here and you repeated that you can repeat it 20,000 times because that is a fact. The IGP is not correct. As a member of parliament and a former police officer, I'll be excited to always have a very correct IGP. If we have access to minutes of POMAP, is it possible to find comment from you telling the IGP the things that he's doing wrong that you think that should be righted and he ignored? POMAP. Minutes from POMAP, because he's a POMAP member. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I don't know, because I don't have access to the POMAP minutes.
Are you a member of POMAP?
Mr. Chairman, for now, I'm not.
But when you were active, you were?
So I've been a member of POMAP for a very long time.
Thank you very much. So what it means is that if you've ever made some comments, some suggestions to strengthen the IGP's role in internal security, and they are not captured in POMAP minutes, you will be surprised. Is that right?
Mr. Chairman, maybe you will have to call for the minutes of POMAP and see whether those things are recorded. Or maybe it's only decisions that are taken that are recorded.
Commissioner, I'm asking the question because of chain of command, that the Vice President is the Chairman of the Police Council. And as a member of POMAP, if you think that the IGP is not doing things right, by sequence, the next good thing to do is to seek audience with the Vice President, who is the Chairman of the Police Council. Don't you deduct his right?
That is your opinion.
Okay. What is the right procedure in terms of complaints within the system? It's a regulatory matter. It's an administrative matter. What is the right procedure if you can indicate us? I am dissatisfied with things that are happening in the service. What is the right procedure?
In our rules and regulations, there's no procedure like that. You have been a police officer before, and you know.
Let's, bring today's proceedings to a close. Commissioner, with the greatest of respect, you need to come back tomorrow. Yes, because there are some residual matters that you need to come and complete before our good friend Superintendent Asari will continue. It is imperative that you come tomorrow. And I think that it will not be too long, so that if you want to do anything in the interior or wherever, you'll be able to do it. Because I don't want a situation in which some of the members have some more issues to interrogate, and because of the time constraints. And guess what? We've been here for some time. And it's also good for you and your council to reflect some more. And then you come and we continue. What I'm going to do is that the Secretariat could give you the transcript of the tape. I want the Secretariat to give it to you. We have nothing to hide. That is to say, if somebody was recording or typing out what was on the tape, that will be the transcript. So the Secretariat will give it to you. So council, wait and get the transcript. You were interested in our terms of reference, which, I mean, you can also have it if you are interested. And then what else did you need that will let you aid your client for tomorrow? What else would you need?
Mr. Chairman, I think it was about the tape.
The committee will decide on it, and if it's very necessary, I mean, we'll fetch, if you assume that there's an original tape, we'll get an original tape and then we'll see. But whatever is of consequence to you, we'll give it to you. We will not hide anything from you at all.
We are grateful.
Yes. You know that yes. What Chief Bugri Nabu said, the transcript is ready, and you have a copy as well, what he said. Yeah. And that's how we'll go so far. But it's not ended, because it might even be necessary that we bring the chief back. And then if there's a need for you to engage him and the rest of it, we'll do it. Superintendent, I have to apologize, but I think what you are hearing will prepare your mind sufficiently for tomorrow. So it's a blessing in disguise, you know. And then we'll see how you perform tomorrow. You've seen all the mistakes and the rest of it so that you can perform better tomorrow. Is that not so? On this note, Commissioner and your lawyers, we are very, very grateful that you attended upon the committee. And tomorrow, as I've given you my firm word, it will not be a long stretch out engagement. We can tell it as quickly as possible and go and attend to other business. Council for Superintendent Asari, I'm sorry you didn't have your day, but tomorrow, when God gives us when God gives us the strength, we'll be able to complete the assignment. So all that you need to fetch from the Secretariat, have a little patience and fetch them, read them as you want, and then tomorrow we'll have a good day. So on this note, proceedings are adjourned to tomorrow, 10 a.m. in the forenoon. 10 a.m. in the forenoon. And please, let's be very prompt, especially the witnesses, and then you can retire. I'm grateful to you for coming. Proceedings are accordingly adjourned for tomorrow.